Welcome, UNL fans, to the third UNL Tubecast. I am your commissioner, Scott Anderson. Joining me once again tonight, my amazing co-host, Jake Joyce. How you doing tonight, Jake?
I'm doing good, Scott. Thanks for being here.
I think it's important that I'm here, correct? But it's also important to have you with me. I appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you appreciating me being here.
I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. But let's start off, run down our champions for us.
Let's knock this out because I've had a few beers. So
oh,
until
2017.
Yes. Oh, God bless 2017, that is.
Oh, thank goodness it's over.
All right, league champion, Vexing, Vladimir Verklempt. TV champion, won through the Battle Royal, is Valinaria.
Nice.
Brazil champion is Anne's bodyguard, Zhang Fi. China champion, although our commission...
I can say this one. TXVXB.
There's no X, man. That's a space. But you know what? It's pretty endearing now, so we'll go with that. TXVXB is the China champion. Great Britain champion is Zach Gagnon. Indian champion is Africa's Deadliest, the Mananimal. And actually, very sweetly, Kendall messaged me on Facebook and he said, the name is Mananimal, not Manimal. And I said, thank you, Kendall. You're a great person, and I appreciate your friendship.
Yeah, he's the best.
He is great.
We love you. Yeah.
And speaking of Kendall, the Iran champion is the chosen one, Mac Trilla.
Mac Trilla.
The Japan champion is Naul. The Mexico champion is Japanese Fortune 500 Aaron McFleece, also known as Tenbatsu.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria champion is Fight of the Butcher. Russian champion is Hot Stuff Adam Cash. And the U.S. champion is that piece of shit, Texas Hick Rick Rancher.
He snuck in with the Battle Royal right at the bottom.
That's the tag team champions are Hot Stuff Adam Cash and Fight of the Butcher. And the TV tag team champions are that piece of shit, Texas Hick Rick Rancher, and Vexing Vladimir Verklempt. The six-man champions are Valinaria, Hot Stuff Adam Cash, Fight of the Butcher, and the TV six-man champions are Quebec Hitman MRP, Russian Reaper, and Naul. Which is crazy that Quebec Hitman MRP went from being the Triple Crown winner and now he's delegated to TV six-man champion.
Yeah, well, I beat myself there. So I decided that I couldn't win the six-man titles with two of my guys, so I decided to put my guy with two good people. So I went with Quebec and Reaper and Cash and Fatty. I'm like, I can win if I team up with somebody else.
And now you owe yourself those wins, right? Like you get your own free, nice.
Couple free matches, yeah. Okay, so what's going on in the UNL? I guess first should we go over the trash talk first or the pay-per-view first?
Probably the PPV, if you will, as they call it on my end of the spectrum, PPV. Okay, all right.
On the inner circle here, okay. I don't want to go over like all the details, right? Because I want the results to mean something when you see them in the bulletin. But I will announce the first champions. First continental champion is Vexing Vladimir Verklempt.
Oh, nice.
So he will begin defending that title starting this cycle against the previous cycle's Battle Royal winner, which was Valinaria with his 493. He's going to sneak in. That'll work.
Very nice. Good work. Good work.
Yes. Okay. The international title match, Dictator Kim is our first international champion.
Congrats.
Yeah, won over a tough cookie in Akbar. Right. And the first Can-Am champion is VXB.
You don't pronounce the X's. Those are placeholders for spaces.
Okay. So TVB won our... This one time only because he became champion. I will pronounce it correctly.
All right, fine.
Defeating Antoine Martin. So Antoine Martin's been on quite a tear, so that's a pretty good victory there. So those are our first champions. If you are helping to write up any of these matches that your wrestlers are in, please get a hold of me. That would be Fantastic. If I don't have to write up 10 matches, that would be great. I've heard from a few people. I will be doing the Continental title match. I'll definitely be doing that one. So the others, let me know. Otherwise, I'll be doing that Sunday night.
I'll be
from now.
I'll be doing 2 of those.
Yes.
Okay. If that alleviates some pressure.
Yes, that will. That will alleviate some pressure. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Okay, so that's that. We are looking forward now already to our next pay-per-view, the Rumble, taking place in 4 cycles. It's cycle 12, so it's March 27th.
Which is going to come up. Can you believe that we're actually already in cycle 8? It feels like this just started.
I know. I have to agree. I was looking back because I was thinking about the year-end wrestler of the year and stuff, and I can't. We started in summer. It was summer cycle. Yeah.
Our lives are a lie, Commissioner Anderson.
We are all Sims.
Our lives are just, what is that Kansas song? Dust in the Wind.
Dust in the wind. I mean, time is relative. I tried to explain this to my students the other day, that time is relative. It's not constant.
I'm 30 years old and I still have no idea what that means.
Well,
I was also an English major, so
yeah, I'll explain it sometime off air. I don't want to bore all of our listeners to sleep.
It'd be a good nighttime, a nightcap.
I want to keep the 11 listeners we have.
Hey, last time I checked, we had 30-something listeners, so we're doing pretty okay.
You are fantastic. If you're listening to this, I appreciate you listening. Thank you. There's a bit more information about the Royal Rumble match this cycle. Winner will be the person with the highest strategy, tiebreaker being the Battle Royal finish. Start letting Kim know that you would like to enter that. You need to enter by cycle 11. So if you don't let Kim know by cycle 11, nobody's going to enter in cycle 12. Match is going to run in cycle 12.
So that's 3 cycles away from cycle 8, this last cycle.
Correct. So, yes, correct. So holidays was cycle 8. The one coming up January is cycle 9. So you have a few cycles, and there's no money, no cash money. It's imaginary money to enter.
Right, which I think is actually awesome, and I wish that more leagues would use that process. So if you're listening to IWAR leagues, this would be great. A great process to use.
I think there is an RWAR league who did an imaginary cash.
Oh, well, then if that's the case, then I wasn't paying attention very closely.
Next year, Jake.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I do like this idea of doing the imaginary cash for the Royal Rumble, though. In lieu of having the Royal Rumble winner face a champion, I think what we're going to do is the imaginary cash every year. So 17 cycles from now, 17 times 50,000 is a lot. If only we had a math person here. 850,000.
Which, I mean, that's nearly a Hall of Fame. Or no, 5 million?
No. No, if I would do this next year, if I would hold all the money, the 50,000 each cycle and bank it until next year, 17 cycles of 50,000 would be 850,000.
Right. No, what I was saying is that 5 million is the Hall of Fame.
Correct.
Oh, right.
Right.
So
you just win the Royal Rumble 2-3 years in a row. And
yeah, right. And then you get that sweet plaque. Get that sweet
cash.
And the plaque. You get the sweet plaque.
Oh, yeah. Don't underrate the plaque, man.
That's going to be hung up in my child's room. My firstborn. I'm going to go, listen, firstborn. This is your first piece of art in your room. It's my IWA plaque.
Right. I have a firstborn. I'm going to take her picture down and put up the plaque. This is my best accomplishment in my life.
Our lives are a lie, Commissioner Anderson.
Okay, so that's that. The Rumble's coming up. There will be some title matches. The UN title will be decided. The Rumble also. The third match in the series for the Can-Am and International titles will also be that cycle. That was deliberate on my part. The title defense for the Can-Am and International titles will start in cycle 10. So that'll run 10, 11, and 12. So the last match of that 3-match series will be in cycle 12. The first challengers will be announced next cycle because the strategies for cycle 7, 8, 9 will determine who those challengers are. Again, in order to challenge for Can-Am and International titles and the UN title, I appreciate all the players.
See, that's going to be crazy because cycle 9, looking at the previous cycles in different leagues or federations, it's going to be a crazy cycle for strats.
Oh, yeah, I know. we got Iron and Steel both having was it 25s drop or a hold come up and another hold come down?
It was 27s and 26 dropped to 23, and I'm not sure 23s jumped up to 27s and 26s. So yeah, we're gonna see some. Oh, yes, good luck is right. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be an awful January cycle for all of us.
Yes, IWA champ is a 496.
Yeah, right. That's seriously, yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Now there'll be somebody who hits a 500 or something.
You're right.
Won't be me, but there'll be somebody.
Maybe it's you. We'll see. Commissioner Beep over here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you want to start up with what did we call it? The B-side TT, even though all these TTs are good.
TT. You're right. Wow.
Not named because it's not as good,
right,
but just because it's in the other bulletin.
Right, which is like the classic way of going about it. So Philip Rousseau talked about Quebec Hitman and Texas Rick Rancher, and of course, he actually had a lot of things to say. Akbar and his buddy CC DeVille, who has not been around, but according to a different TT, he appeared, but I'll let you handle that in a second. Mm-hmm. But he also talked about Valen Aryar and Naul, so Philip Rousseau is just going completely balls out, as they say. As the kids say these days, is going completely balls out and just kind of attacking everyone. And Rick Rancher was attacked, and it is a masked man who attacked him. So I appreciate that masked man because Rick Rancher is a piece of shit.
Okay. Good assessment. It does look. It does. If I may, I think Rousseau had some kind words for a few people and some criticisms of a few others.
Oh, what did you see? I'm sorry, I totally just glanced over.
Okay. He complimented his stablemate. Of course, he has respect for Valen and Naul. I mean, they're pretty good, I guess.
Oh, he does have respect for them. That's right. I do see that now.
But he does have some critiques a few other places. So he's been a tough cookie.
Right. And then, I mean, this is the first Triple Crown winner. He is the first Triple Crown winner in the UNL. In fact, that's something that I'm not sure if we're going to see be repeated here anytime soon, so good for him. So, of course, he has anything he wants to say can be said. But before we do that, I want to give a shout-out to Blazer Corporation.
Yeah.
Tobin Wells and, of course, Jasper Obankwo, who had an unfortunate cycle, but their TT is phenomenal, and they're calling out Adam Cash, who deserves to be called out. And, of course, Quebec Hitman is being called out, too. They call him a great champion, but, of course, when you're a great champion, it makes you even greater to beat them.
True.
That's their goal.
True that. Yes. I definitely think we're going to see big things from them. Yeah, they had an unfortunate mishap this past cycle, but I think that's just going to be a bump in the road. I think they're going to come back.
I think so too, and
pretty strong.
We've seen Blazer Corporation in NWL currently, and they are tearing it up big time. So they'll be doing well here in the UNL as well.
All right. So looking then inside after the commissioner report, we have the Quebec Hitman giving blood money a little taste of their own medicine. They had a rough cycle last cycle as well. They came back strong in holidays, so we'll see maybe where that develops. Could see a big feud brewing between Quebec Hitman and Blood Money. He compliments Naul on their 6-man title win. Those two will be teaming up in the World Tag Tournament that we'll discuss in a little bit.
Nice.
Oh, and I am in here as well. He again reiterates that he will not be fighting Fake Bimbo. Jim. So there is something in the works there. So it'll be good, I assure you.
Well, let me just say is that Scott Anderson does not drop F-bombs. So anything you see is fake news.
Yes. Just as a public service announcement, please do not use Scott Anderson in your TT, at least without talking to me first. So not a huge not a huge deal, but just definitely something I don't want to be a front runner. I want to be a guy behind the scenes, just kind of directing traffic. So if you want to use Scott Anderson in your TT, just kind of give me a heads up, let me know, and we'll go from there. Blood Money was a little set about a few things, so I think we just getting that worked out. I think that'll be all right. So
well, they're okay. They did pretty well this cycle, so they can take some criticism if they need to.
I
they
think
run
so.
the title page.
They took Val and Arya to the 6-man title, so that sounds good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. They replenished the river of life.
Yes. For sure. Okay, so do you want to go over the next one is...
Oh, I see who this is. I see who this is. Don't worry. No, I see who this is. This piece of shit, Texas hick piece of shit, Rick Rancher. He's calling out Aunt Spivey. So, let's see where this goes. And
in contrast to you, I think Rick Rancher is a pretty jolly good fellow. So,
well, that's a shame. You and I are on different sides.
Especially since there may have been a huge upset at the pay-per-view, but you'll have to wait and see about that.
Right. Read your bulletins, folks. Then we have Vladimir Verklempt talking about his rivalry with, as our commissioner puts it, TXVXB. But it looks like Vladimir has made a connection with Jacob Vandenberg, who is TVB's cousin. So I'm interested to see where this goes from here.
Yeah, I have to be honest. There's a lot of really good stuff going on right now. Blazer Corporation, Blood Money, Rousseau and Martin. But I think what I am most excited. Oh, and not to forget about Noble House, although we haven't seen much from them.
Right, that's true. Interesting enough.
But I think what I am most excited about right now is the developing friendship between Vladimir and Jacob.
Right.
I am every cycle. I'm thoroughly going through it.
Right, and it's the perfect companionship because these guys both can't speak English properly in a league that requires you to speak English properly. So, which I can't right now. I've had a few too many IPAs, so I've been slurring. It is a Friday night.
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm on point.
And actually, if we can go to the next page, if we're going to go through this page by page, Valinaria, he's had his this graphic we've had here for Valinaria has been all of the regionals that he's won, but he just took TV. He's the TV champion through a battle royal, so that has to be added to this graphic.
I think the graphic's going to have to be adjusted. I'm trying to decide if I need to if it's too verbose to continue having the graphic. I think maybe the graphic size can be maybe reduced.
No, I think it's lovely the way it is, to be honest.
Okay. You would leave it at the same size?
Oh, yeah. Add TV in there. TV next to India and Iran, right in between. Cross that out. TV.
With all due respect, I think it should be in the middle.
You're right. Oh, what a cherished title that is. The TV championship.
Yeah. So, what is Valen saying? Oh, yeah. Felicia interrupts his entry to the arena, and Valen is not very kind about it. He talks about his passion for wrestling. So, obviously, that might be, I don't know, it might be respected by some of the fans, but certainly his methods might be turning a lot of fans off. Certainly not very polite to Felicia here in this interview.
Yeah, but again, he's also whooping ass.
I mean,
as a wrestler.
He is whooping a little bit of ass. So.
I like that you and I have similar accents, so it sounds like we're saying the same words.
I think we're actually just one person. This is just me doing two different voices. I'm just running the track twice.
It's actually kind of funny because, if I may for a second, if I may have a quick side tangent, it's cool because and Matt are from the East Coast, whereas you and I are from the Midwest. and you listen to their podcast or Tubecast, and they say things pretty similarly, and then you and I have this, and we say things like we do, and it's a wonderful cultural experience for our Iwar friends.
I could not agree more. that Matt, and I don't know who that other guy you mentioned is, but
I meant to say beat
is excellent on their Tubecast, but they do have a bit of an East Coast,
right. Whereas you and I have
dialect.
That, right, and you and I have that silly prairie slang.
Yeah, Prairie, my third favorite regional title.
That's my favorite regional title is the Prairie Championship.
Do you want to guess what my number 1 is?
Let me guess. Hold on. Let me think. Let me think for a second. It's going to be Dixie.
Oh, son of a gun!
Is it really?
That was going to be my fake answer. No, it's not Dixie.
I know.
Dixie champion.
I was just kidding. I was just fooling.
Mountain is actually.
Oh, Mountain is so good, and actually, that also might be my top. No, Prairie's my top one. Prairie's the top one, but Mountain's good too.
I like Mountain.
Mountain's a good one. That's a great one.
Right in the middle, I don't really get that many Atlantics because I generally run somewhere in the middle.
Well, I mean, also Mountain at the same time. Mountain, like when you think Mountain, it's way more the vision of Mountain Championship. It's like you're the champion of the fucking mountains. Can I cuss on this podcast?
I think you just did.
I'm sorry. You're the champion of the fucking mountains, and that is awesome. And that's where Vader came from. Vader was the champion of the Rocky Mountains, and you were the mountain champion.
I mean, yeah, if you can follow in Vader's footsteps,
right? Exactly.
You're a tough cookie.
That's
That's my new saying for today. Tough cookie.
I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan. I don't hate it. I love it, actually.
All right. So what's up next?
Naul, do you want to actually?
Why don't you go over it?
Let me just say if I had a I Stand with Standing Rock T-shirt, I'd wear it every single day of my life.
Yeah.
And also, he says the S word in this promo, and
he does.
It was approved.
It got through
with the 3 little dots.
3 little dots.
That was good. Also, wasn't this with Rick Rancher? So, who won this match? Who was the winner of this match?
You're gonna have to read your bulletin, but it may have been an upset.
Mr. Anderson, come on. Am I gonna be happy? Is it gonna make me happy?
I'm pretty sure you're gonna be happy.
All right. It was that piece of shit, Rick Rancher, who lost. I assume, right?
Are you quoting my TT? Or are you...
That's right. Yeah, it's right here. The piece of shit that you are, Rick Rancher.
I feel like we went off the rails a little bit. Rancher is just an excellent villain. That's all.
Sure.
Who has beaten us from head to hide for 8 cycles.
Really, if I can break some IWA kayfabe for a second, it's pretty amazing that Rick Rancher was able to. I mean, how many cycles was it? Was it just the first 2 that he became the first 2-time league champion?
Third cycle, yeah. So he won 2 and 3.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
So he won the first? Asiatic, and I think he's been leading in the half-year strat and the singles for every cycle since cycle 2.
The reason why I hate him so much is that
because he's so good.
He's fucking amazing. And Texas Rick. So he's at 7 now. I'm spilling my bulletin over my.
These are the kind of co-hosts that the UNL hires.
I've been drinking too long. God damn it. So even though, yes, he still tops the half-year overall, that piece of shit. Number 2 is Jacob Vandenberg. He's getting there. Close, but...
Close. I don't think you're going to make it, though.
I don't think so.
The year's over, sir.
Close. Yeah, you're right. Oh, so it resets? Oh, it resets. Oh, man.
So then we got... Oh, hey. We have some really awesome TT on the back here. Are we still talking about TT? Good heavens.
Yeah, we have one left. One left.
Okay, yeah. Some good stuff on the back.
I mean,
EXBXB is letting Antoine Martin know his intention. Definitely looking to win the Can-Am title. The match that took place at the
Read your bulletin. That came true.
It did. You won.
Hell yeah.
TXVXB, first Can-Am champion. Congratulations. And then I think maybe my favorite line from the entire cycle was Jacob and Vexing Vladimir sharing a horse-drawn carriage deep in the heart of New York City.
So do they have these things in New York? Because I wrote this from the perspective of Chicago. So Beep just told us they have them in New York. They're in Central Park from what Beep has told us.
Yes. And they are sharing a bottle of cheap, sparkling pink champagne.
Which is like just the best.
I mean, just the imagery warms my heart.
Well, that's what I was going for when I wrote that. I'm like, what would Commissioner Anderson feel about when he read this? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. So, okay, what else? Anything else? That's about it. The tag team tournament.
Right.
What I want to talk about. That's going to start up in Cycle 9. First match is taking place, Cycle 9. Pretty excited about that. So, there was a few replacements. We had one manager go inactive. We have some replacements. In the Mac Trilla match, Mac Trilla is now going to team with Aaron McFleece.
Whoa!
And, yeah, that's going to be a powerhouse team. And they're going to face off against Rick Rancher and Tobin Wells. And then in the other match that was altered due to name change and replacement is Tenbatsu, if that's how you pronounce it. Hopefully close. I don't know how close that was. And Val and Arya are going to go up against Zhang Fi and Jasper Obanku. I don't know how close I got on that one, too. I tried to.
If we can just take 3 seconds of silence to respect the loss of Trumpets and Crumpets, I'd appreciate it.
Please.
All right. All right, rest in peace, Trumpets and Crumpets.
It was all too brief. But I am excited to see Fortune 500 Aaron McFleece make his appearance in the UNL.
That guy's all over. That guy is the Luther Alexander of Cleveland.
He gets around. But I am seriously excited. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, a few big things on the possible horizon. So we'll see what develops there. Kind of going to keep that close to the chest. There's something in development that hopefully I'll be announcing hopefully 2 cycles from now. Going to put something together that I hope will be pretty big. So keep you on edge for that. Anything else? We'll have our Wrestler of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, 6-Man of the Year.
Oh, really?
Next cycle. Yeah. So those will be the point winners. Points
We're going to have the piece of shit award.
I think that's an unsanctioned, unofficial award.
All right. That's the Jake Joyce piece of shit award.
It may be like 0.4 font down at the bottom in the corner. You may find it.
I'm going to make an MS Paint plaque for you. A piece of shit award.
I do think my co-host has had one too many. So lots of good global tournament action going on. I feel like we're getting into the groove on those now.
I think so too. I think it's nice to look at and actually have reoccurring winners, because I think it actually affects the TT and it affects the flow of the league itself. So
yeah,
keep it up.
Good.
Keep it up.
So also, kind of something that I have in the back of my mind is maybe a pay-per-view that will appear maybe in the fall will include kind of a best of the best, maybe a global tournaments winners tournament.
Oh, that's actually an awesome idea.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like a winners tournament. Yeah, like a one night tournament.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And it's a few cycles off. I mean, it's like almost a whole year away. So yeah, that's awesome. It's a great idea.
Yeah. Commissioner Anderson not only takes it easy, he takes it head. Yeah, so I've got a few. I've actually got a pretty good outline of how I want the next year to go for us pay-per-view wise. So that will all be unfolding. I hope everybody enjoys it as much as I am enjoying putting it together.
Well, I think it's lovely, and I'm enjoying it. So
Hey, and if I can, a shameless plug to my alter ego, Scott Pratt, who had the LNL hit in not only in the top 10 leagues, but they won the two matches for $1.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So kudos to
you.
To Scott Pratt, who may also be a man behind the curtain who's eerily similar to myself. So that was pretty cool. So we'll see what goes on there. Maybe we have a smaller number of managers in that league, but the managers there are good size spenders. So I don't know how many of them will actually be taking advantage of the two matches for $1.
Interesting.
Because at some point that levels out, right?
Right. Yeah. You would think so.
I mean, you get up to $10 or $12 and it starts to level out. So.
Yeah, right, for sure. Do you appreciate $5 cycles? That's my life.
that should be a character. I think that's about it for me. Was there anything else that you had on your mind that you wanted to?
Oh yeah, here's a sweet song I wrote.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Okay.
That we use as the outro.
Okay. Yes. So if we could if we could play that music out or have that play us out, I think this is the music that Commissioner Anderson listens to while he's taking it easy. So for my co-host, Jake Joyce, I am Scott Anderson, and I hope you have a good night and a great day